Arsenal fans, where are you at? Your club is into a fresh Moise Caicedo approach anytime it's going to be launched, as Arsenal want to approach this deal again, and it has been confirmed by Chris Whitley, your former correspondent of Arsenal for the Football London, meaning that he still has some close sources in the corridors of the club of Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. This is the Arsenal News Show, and I think it's the first that we held on the day. Remember, we've been having transfer news shows involving very many other people, but right now it's only Arsenal. As we are talking, Emily Smith Rowe, Arteta looking like he doesn't want to let him go. He still believes that there is a player in him. And lastly, your invisible who retired and once captained Arsenal, that is Gilberto Silva, has gone ahead and really described Arsenal's season in a paragraph of 2 that we're going to come here and be revealed to you what he has gone ahead and said. And there are some other updates I'm going to drop you about Gilberto Silva in the next video, talking about Granit Xhaka and so many other things that has gone ahead to tackle into this episode. So smash the like button, comment and share. 200 likes or 300 are really welcome, and don't forget to subscribe if at all you're watching us for the very first time onto this channel. Now, let's go eyes. Moise Caicedo, so much important, and he's one of the most liked players that Arsenal fans really want to see sign for their club. And this is Charlie Haftedon, Premier League and EFL accredited reporter of the BIM World. So he's also a close source to Brighton. You know, he makes content there. And obviously Chris Whitley, football correspondent and writer for the Networld Hub. And it shows you that Charlie Haftegen is really one of those that is close to Brighton. And according to what he's getting from Brighton, and according to what Chris Whitley is getting in from his sources, remember, Chris Whitley was once a correspondent of Arsenal. The two have combined and brought us a story that read, Arsenal are preparing to lodge a renewed offer for Moise Caicedo, for Brighton midfielder Moise Caicedo. It's understood the Gunners will make a bid similar to the 75 million package that was rejected by Brighton in January. No personal terms have been agreed upon as it stands. So, Moise Caicedo is the talk about town. As I told you yesterday, the personal terms that Arsenal agreed with Moise Caicedo in January are not standing in this situation, because by the time Arsenal was not playing in the Champions League. This time around, Arsenal is going to be playing the Champions League, meaning that they are close to more 10 clauses that need to be really clarified into those personal terms. Though, it's not going to be hard for Arsenal to agree personal terms with Moise Caicedo. But all I can let you know is that there are some alternations that need to be made into that call of Moise Caicedo's personal terms at Arsenal. That's why these two have told you that personal terms have not been agreed. As it stands, they are supposed to go in and really agree on new personal terms, as Arsenal is in the Champions League. And when you're in the Champions League, the demands differ, because you're talking about a club making more money, meaning that Moise Caicedo will call in for more money, you know, coming in from Arsenal, you know, as his weekly wages. And a player who goes for 70-80 million pounds always goes into a salary level of 180,000 pounds a week to 200,000 pounds a week. You saw it on Nicola Pepe when he came in at Arsenal. By the time he came in at Arsenal, no player at Arsenal was earning 180,000 pounds. Why was he given that amount of money? Because of the price tag that Arsenal paid to Lille to sign him at Arsenal. Thomas Partey, he came in for 45 to 50 million pounds from Atletico Madrid. He's earning 200,000 pounds a week. Gabriel Jesus, 45 million pounds from Man City, that could really match up to 50 million pounds, which I believe some add-ons are going to go to Man City because Arsenal's going to have to qualify for the Champions League. And it would have gone ahead to cost more, close to 60 or 70 or 80 million pounds if at all he had like 2 years left on his contract. By the time he came in at Arsenal, he just had 1 year left on his contract. He's earning 265,000 pounds a week. So it shows you that the more the money you're about, the more the huge weekly wage you are accustomed to as a player of any team. So as it stands, Moise Caicedo is really going to agree personal terms with Arsenal, but they've not been agreed, but they won't be a problem. That's it. But the most important bit is that Arsenal launching a fresh Caicedo approach to sign him. And that approach includes a bid of 75 million pounds. And on 75 million pounds, Arsenal might find themselves getting their man, that is Moise Caicedo. I think they can get him because Moise Caicedo is sold on an idea of playing to us at Arsenal. Arsenal is playing in the Champions League, and as I've always told you that the only serious competitor Arsenal are really facing is Manchester United. But with the current situation at Man United, of them not knowing who the preferred bidder is going to be and who is the realistic owner of the club, it shows you that they are not going to attack this transfer window hard. It's going to take them some time to sanction deals of close to £80 million. Yet Arsenal have their owner Kroenke willing to back the club. £200 million put up for Arsenal to spend, and Arteta has been promised that if at all you sell players, that money will be added onto the £200 million, meaning that £200 million minus sales coming in from players. And when you look at Arsenal, they're having a huge lineup of players to sell. Kientieni, Cedric Soares, Rob Holding, Grant Xhaka, Albert Sambi Lokonga, Balogun might also be sold. Who else is Arsenal looking at? Nicola Pepe is another one that Arsenal is going to sell. So if Arsenal can sell those 7 players, they can really raise close to £100 million, because for Balogun, you can sell him at like £40 million. You add on Xhaka's £15 million, that is 55. You add on Sambi Lokonga's, I think it'll go to like 30, that is like 85. You add on Cedric Soares, they might get like 8 out of him, that is already 100. You add on Kientieni is another one, £30+ million that Arsenal can get from that deal. So Arsenal might have a budget of £300 million to spend, and that's why I've always told you on this channel that you shouldn't worry about Arsenal going in for Caicedo and Declan Rice, because just in mere sales, Arsenal can raise money for one player, maybe Moise Caicedo. Selling Lokonga and Balogun, only those two can raise money for Arsenal to bring in Moise Caicedo. Then selling Kientieni at 30, Grant Xhaka at 15, that is 45. Add on Cedric Soares. Who else? Rob Holding. I think they can raise like another £70 million, all 50, all 70, all 80 to get in Declan Rice. And Arsenal can really spend without even selling. And after getting in these players they want, then they can go ahead and really offload, because we've been told the reason as to why the deal of Grant Xhaka to Bayer Leverkusen is still delayed is simple. Arsenal have found themselves in a position of wanting to first get in his replacement, that is Declan Rice, then they let him go as an elite club operates. But Arsenal are launching a bid of Moise Caicedo. £75 million is the fee being talked about, and it's staggering into that price tag. That's it. Brighton want between 75 to 80, and I think Arsenal will negotiate that down, because they've gone ahead to have a very good relationship with Mr. Bloom, the owner of Brighton, and they've seen themselves buy 2 players from Brighton, Ben White, Leandro Trossard, and they've not been grudges in them signing players from Brighton. Chelsea, when they came in at Brighton to take Chicharella, it was really a hard battle. Chicharella had even to strike and put in a transfer request that, please let me go and leave this club of Brighton. I want to join Chelsea. So that is it coming in from Moise Caicedo. 2 credible journalists, one from Brighton, one once at Arsenal, have gone ahead and confirmed to us that Arsenal are launching a fresh Caicedo approach, and it has been confirmed. £75 million is what Arsenal are really planning to go ahead and really pledge at Brighton. So is Arsenal going to make these bids at once? I'm going to come back and really bring you a story of what I've gotten onto that. Emily Smith Rowe into the mix. 90-minute football reporting that sources have told 90 Minute that Arsenal have no intention of selling Emily Smith Rowe amid speculation over his future in North London. The Gunners hope he can recapture his best form next season. And talking about Emily Smith Rowe, he has gone ahead to really realize that he never had the season he would have admired or wished to have at Arsenal. And what he has gone ahead to do towards the Euro under 21s, he went to Dubai and he was training with John O'Shea and another certified coach in Dubai. So he wants to be physically fit for the Euros, and he wants these Euros to jumpstart his claim for his position in the preseason when Arsenal is playing those games against Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona, Madrid, Monaco, and very many others. That's how Emile Smith-Rowe is planning his journey. Even to me, I don't think that he deserves really to be sold by Arsenal or even loaned. Arsenal need Emile Smith-Rowe provided he hits the ground running. That's a given. If he finds himself fit, hits the ground running, there is no doubt that he'll be firing up all cylinders. He's a very talented player. But for that to happen, push has to come to shove to see to it that he really puts himself in a position of obviously dislodging a midfielder at Arsenal. When you look at the positions he plays in, they are really going to be so much competitive. When you look at the left attacking side of the midfield, there is Martinelli, Reece Nelson, Trossard. He'll need to put out performances that are going to outcompete those three players to see to it that he comes into that team. Him getting injured just gave Martinelli a position to play into that Arsenal side. Remember, he was played more as a left attacking midfielder in the season of 2021-2022 and was one of the best players of Arsenal, totaling up to a double figure in goal involvements, that is goal and assists. But because he was really injured, Martinelli started off very well and put in performances that made Arsenal fans even forget about Emile Smith-Rowe. But that doesn't take away how good this player is and how Mikel Arteta really believes in him. And what is going to help him is he's an Arsenal graduate from the Hell End Academy. Players that come from the academy are really so much favored. You know why? There is that law of the homegrown players. And if I tell you a homegrown player, you really help that team meet the 17 players that are really called for in the squad. The homegrown player, if he's English, even if you purchase him like Arsenal want to purchase Declan Rice, he turns into straight as a homegrown player. If at all your nationality is not English, you must have made your debut at Arsenal at the age of 18. All being a player coming in from the academy. Like you see Gabriel Martinelli, I think even Saliba qualifies for that. Who else? Florent Balogun now. So it shows you how good that is, and Arsenal really fighting to keep Emile Smith-Rowe. But he's a very good player that I really love to watch. One thing I like about him is that he has a very good eye for goal. That is Emile Smith-Rowe for you. And he has always gone ahead to put in performances, especially when it comes to big teams. There are players that are good at scoring against small teams, and they're not good at scoring against big teams. But the way Emile Smith-Rowe balances the two, all Arsenal fans will agree with me that if at all he was fit this season, he would have gone ahead to make a very huge difference in their title charge. They reached an extent where they needed a different kind of player to come in through and obviously open up these defenses and maybe create chances or score. But Emile Smith-Rowe was not there. So Emile Smith-Rowe is known for sale. Let's go to Gilberto Silva Caicedo, the former Invisible. And he used to play for Arsenal, and he has gone ahead to say the following, that I look at it as a success. Not many people expected Arsenal to challenge for the title, especially against City. Of course, everybody is disappointed on missing out on the opportunity to become champions, especially because they've been waiting for this moment for such a long time, and they were so close, but in the end, they were so far. We have to look back on how we began this season. We can consider it a success, especially because Arsenal are back in the Champions League after a long time. Talking about that long time, Arsenal had spent 7 years without playing in the Champions League, and that's the big effect of their season. And they've gone ahead to fulfill it because the board of Arsenal had that as their huge target this season. Arsenal getting back into the Champions League positions, and it has gone ahead to work out like a charm, and that is Gilberto Silva Caicedo, former captain of Arsenal. He was invisible. He was an invisible part of that invisible team that accomplished the season unbeaten. But obviously, if you are an Arsenal fan outside there and you're not content with how the season really went down, then I understand your ambitions, but trust me, you've gone ahead to punch above your weight. Your shoulders couldn't make it, but obviously during the season you showed us that you are really good and you finished second into the Premier League. So Caicedo is talking about Arsenal qualifying for the Champions League, and obviously at the beginning of the season they were really so near to the title, but in the end it looked like they're so far away from lifting the title. So what do you make about Arsenal's fresh Caicedo approach on and Emily Smith Rowe not for sale, and what Gilberto Silva has gone ahead to regard Arsenal's season as? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. I'm out. Ciao, ciao.